Rabbi Silverberg, Rabbi Perlman for this great honor, guest speaker, rabbis, and Amidim and friends. I always had an affinity, I always was drawn to the Rambam. Maybe because I'm in the medical profession, I don't know. But when I was in university in Northwestern in Evanston, my last year, so a friend of mine schlepped me to a yeshiva, which is no longer in existence, in Albany Park. And we used to learn once a week. What we learned Rambam. We learned it was Tshuva, it was Malachim, whatever. So when we came to Chicago, B'nai Ruvain had a Sunday morning kollel. This was, of course, long before Rabbi Hecht came here. And we learned Chavrusas. My Chavrusa was Rabbi Yisrael Bin. He was not a rabbi at that time. But is he here? We decided we were going to learn Rambam, and we wanted to learn through the entire Mishnah Torah. Our plan was we were going to learn every Sunday morning one perakim of Rambam. And that way we figured that in 20, 25 years, we'll be able to learn through the entire Mishnah Torah. And the plan was working pretty well. We made it through about a year. We were about to make a Siyum on Sefer Mada, or Holy Shua, whatever, and we were about to make a Siyum, and it became, and it was Pesach break. After Pesach, 1984, Mandala, the Rebbe came out, as Rabbi said before, with the Mitzvah Rambam, and all of a sudden, here we had a chance to learn the Rambam not in 20 or 25 years, but in 1 year. And this is really a hurrah that it was a quantum shift in our minds, only to come from the Rebbe, that here, something we thought was going to take half of our lives to accomplish, the Rebbe made it that we could accomplish this in 1 year. It was totally, it's like we learn in Chassidus, the union of true halicha is shalom erech. It was shalom erech of what we had ever thought about. And the Ikar HaLimud, as we understood it then, was to learn 3 perakim a day. Because the Rebbe explained that it's compared to the idea of learning of Kriyas HaTorah in the Jewish congregations, where there are 2 minhagim. He brings it in his tefillah. There are 2 minhagim. One is to learn the cycle in 1 year, is what we almost all do. There's another cycle that you can learn, that you can read the Torah over a 3-year period. But what's the one that's Pasha and Klal Yisrael is to learn, is to read the Torah in a 1-year cycle. So it was understood that was the prime way of learning. And the Rebbe said, all Pachas learn at least 1 perakim a day, when the children should learn Sefer Mitzvahs and so on. There's a story that I used to go around a little bit with Rabbi Shmuel David Reichik, the Shadar, the Elder Chassid. Some of you may have heard of him. He would go around to various houses and would sit down and say, you learn Pitas, you learn Rambam, I'm sure you learn 3 perakim Rambam. And he was, I know a person who was really probably not on the level to learn 3 perakim of Rambam, and he had to learn with an English translation, but he told me you should learn 3 perakim. Anyway, we're not going to go into that now. The problem of learning 3 perakim, especially the first cycle, is there were certain obstacles. And the obvious obstacle is Torah Shebaal Peh is different from Torah Shebeitzav. Torah Shebaal Peh, you have to understand. You can't just say Rambam, you have to learn it and understand it. The other thing is you have to have time, especially 3 perakim a day, you have to be able to find time. So there were 4 special things, 4 aids that really helped in that first year of learning Rambam. The first thing is what some of us, myself, for example, needed an English translation. Very difficult, even now, all the vegetables, and Zroya. You need an English translation. There was no Moznayim, Rambam in those days. There was a Rambam in Northwestern University Library. So I discussed this with Rabbi Moskowitz. He told me, you're an alumnus of Northwestern. Go there and check out the Rambam. So I would go there before each new sefer, check out the Rambam in English, take it to my work where I have a nice copy machine, make 2 copies, give it to Rabbi Moskowitz, and he would take those copies and compare it. I guess he would keep those. I don't know how he did it. Maybe he'll tell us. He would make these nice little books. We would have these books with the English translation as a little bit of a crutch. That was one thing. The second thing was we had Rambam on the line. Actually, you have the same thing now. You go to chabad.org. It's basically the same shiurim that were at that time. The shiurim are really the one parak a day, and they can be long shiurim of up to an hour. We had to have special answering machines, which were like a foot long and 6 or 7 inches high. Actually, we used to have them in our back room behind our dining room. And you could hear when someone called in, it would make a click, and you could hear the tape rolling, and know when someone was listening to Rambam. So we had both Sefer Mitzvahs and the one parak shiur. Sometimes when I would come home late on a Friday, I would forget to turn off the machine, and we'd be sitting at the Shabbos table, and I would hear the click. People were learning Rambam on Shabbos, but whatever. I don't know who those people were. Anyway, another major aid in that first year was a shiur. There was a shiur in 3 perakim a day. Rabbi Shalom Stock gave a shiur every night for the baal. We'd come home from work very tired, and he would learn the 3 perakim shiur for an hour and a half or whatever it took him. And so that was obviously a very big help. The problem with that is you need to stay awake. You have to come to the shiur, you have to stay awake. But it was a very big help in the first year. Actually, I asked my friend Yael Zimmerman about this once, because I said, after a hard day at work, how do you stay awake and learn 3 perakim? It got to be a very big problem. So, I learned 3 perakim the night before. And after thinking for it, you still have to learn 3 perakim at night. It doesn't really help that much. You have people like Rabbi Shimon who would get up in the morning and right after davening, sit down and learn 3 perakim. If you can do that, that is the ideal way. One of my sons-in-law learns 3 perakim after work, and he has a policy not to go to sleep in his bed until he finishes the shiur Rambam. And whenever we visit there, about half the nights, we find him sitting on the couch with the Rambam in his hand, fast asleep. So the first year this worked, but after that it became obvious that it's important to try to learn the shiur, at least part of the shiur during the day. So the problem with that, as I mentioned before, you have to find time. Now, a lot of us don't have much time during the day, whether you're learning all day, whatever it is, you're all lost. But I didn't have much time during the day, but I had one very positive aspect, and that is a lot of boring meetings. And the way these meetings worked, I had to go to these meetings, but they would generally give a printed agenda before the meeting, so you could study it before the meeting. So what I would do is take the agendas and cut out a nice window in the middle of the agenda, print off the pages of the Rambam, slide it under the agenda, go to the meeting, and I would be studying the agenda the entire meeting. I thought I was interested in the meeting, but it worked out quite well. Then because of the advances in technology, in 1996 there was a major advance. You probably don't know what it was. It was called the Palm Pilot. This Palm Pilot, it was not a phone, but you could download the Rambam, whatever it was called, and it had a little stick, and you could play with it, and you could learn the Rambam. The other doctors had these things, and they were putting their schedules and their activities of the day. I was able to take it out and learn the Rambam, so that wasn't fine. And of course, in 2007, the iPhone came out, and that makes it very easy. Everyone else is surfing the net, whatever. You can sit in and learn Rambam in Benakas and nobody's bothering you. So really technology has helped us, and nowadays I'm able to sit, my entire work, which is x-rays, it's all on computers. I get tired of reading x-rays, I can take out my iPhone and learn a few halachas. I have to go to and from work, it takes me over an hour. I may have 40 or 50 stoplights on the way, as I take side streets. Usually half of those are red. Now I don't mind having a red light. Stop at the red light, pull out the iPhone, and learn a halakha or two. So it makes it very nice. And really my favorite way of learning Rambam is something that I've really been trying to interest Rabbi Pearlstein in. People of our age, the best way to learn Rambam is on a treadmill. You can take out the Malchus, you can take out a Sefer, you can take out an iPad, you can have not only the text, You can also have the audio share. It's very simple. If anyone doesn't know how to do it, I'll be glad to show you. But the point is, like the Rambam concludes, all ours Savaya, the world is really filled with knowledge of God. We just have to find the proper kalim to access that. And like one of the Siyum that the Rebbe made, the Kamayim Yam Nechasim, the is filled with fish. You have big fish and little fish. The Rebbe said, we also love, there'll be, some of us will have big hasagas, the Kiyach Adam will be big hasagas, and some will have smaller hasagas. Some of us will have a bigger Kiyach and some smaller Kiyach. Some of us, as it is now, when we learn Rambam, we understand more, we understand less. There was a Siyum, one of the early Siyum in Chicago, Rabbi Steinsaltz made a Siyum, and he said himself, some of the things I understand, some I don't understand. I'm sure he really understands everything. But the bottom line is that Rambam is really available for all of us. We should all make use of it, and we should learn Rambam. The brachas are tremendous, as you'll hear tonight, and it should be Molars Deis Avaya, Kamayim Yam Hasan Kipshute,